Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Idol here, and today we're going to watch Amaranth versus Monai for doubles Premier League Black and White doubles overused. And let's just get into it really quickly now. Landorus T plus Genesect versus Breloom plus Bishop. This is probably double sash. I assume this is double sash because why the hell wouldn't it be double sash, right? Like, both of these Pokemon quite frail. Also, one thing to note here is that Dark type is not neutral into Steel in Gen 5 in Black and White doubles overused. That's a change that only came into being Steel losing its resistance to Steel and Ghost. That only came to be on XY, right? So this Genesect actually does not need to fear Sucker Punch from the Genesect. Landorus T, though, giving the Bishop a Defiant boost is actually kind of annoying. The Landorus T has to respect Sucker Punch. It has to respect Spores at the same time, right? So Amaranth can't just like Amaranth has to think about stuff here because they have to respect the flamethrower. They also have to respect the spore. Genesect, flamethrower, life orb, that crit did not matter at all, I think, because I'm pretty sure that Bishop died 500 times. Yeah, yeah. Even if it's 2-5 to HPE, yeah, no fucking way. That Genesect, that Bishop was absolutely getting fried. Let's check if it's probably is 252 special attack, right? But with max HP, yeah, that's still getting fried. That Bishop definitely super died. Anyway, the Genesect though ends up falling asleep. The Bishop, though, it actually reveals to be not Sash. So the Breloom is Sash. Well, there's no item clause in doubles overused, by the way, but I'm just sussing it out. Bullet Seed onto Little Adios. Remember, guys, Black and White doubles overused is the one DOU format that does have indeed Sleep Clause in play, and with the Genesect already put to sleep, this Breloom is not able to it's not able to spore the Latios. Can't sleep. It can't put everybody to sleep, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It has to be content with one, and though that Genesect essentially is dead because the reason why Black and White doubles overused does indeed still have whatchamacallit. The reason why it still has Sleep Clause, it's because sleep in Black and White doubles is super broken. That Mech Punch does not end up doing that. It healed that Kyurem B. That, oh my god, it's actually CB. What the hell? Took 32 from that Breloom, and it's not as if Breloom is a shitmon, by the way. It's like, hello? Whatever, it is what it is. Monai electing to go onto Landorus in this position, opting to -1 the Kyurem here with Intimidate. This Kyurem, though, is clicking Outrage. This Landorus T's, what the hell, man? It's -1, by the way. It's -1, by the way. And it's dead. It did 31. No, wait, it did 92 at -1. That's Choice Band Kyurem Black for you guys. Meanwhile, Heatran gets the double kill. Amaranth sacks the Genesect. Like, one reason that Amaranth could have wanted to preserve the Genesect is to prevent Breloom from sporing everybody, right? If it's still alive but still sleeping, that means Sleep Clause was in effect. However, with Breloom already down on Monai's side, Amaranth could just freely sack that Genesect away. Earthquake from Amaranth in this position, interesting. I don't think Latios needed to protect, considering Tailwind was up, and it's not as if this Landorus T is a Scarfer, right? Because it's just set rocks. Also, Tailwind is up, right? I think I just said it. I don't know, I'm stupid. Anyway, I think Latios should Psychic Landorus T here. Psychic plus EQ is free, very free. However, it elects the Draco instead. I don't know why. It is Tailwind though, right? But so is it? It's probably Draco, Tailwind Protect, and the Hidden Power Fire. It could be HP Ground. However, I doubt it's HP Ground. It probably is HP Fire. I don't know why it's Life Orb Genesect. Honestly, I didn't really get to touch upon that topic. It is interesting though. I think I think opting to not be CBKB is, or rather CBG is kind of sus. However, the team already does have CBKB. I do not vibe with it. Sort of, kind of, I don't know. Whatever. It's not for me to say. However, interesting move from the Latios there. Ice Beam. That's pretty much that's a move that's exclusive to Choice Scarf Latios, essentially. Which is actually really good here because it's faster than the Tornadus, which is also taking rocks, so that Tornadus probably dies if it's 0 HP. They most probably are because they don't run any HP. They're usually offensive with Fly Gem, Defiant, right? And Defiant would actually be good in this position because or rather in this team, because it's working with Landorus T, it's working with CBKB, and they don't really run Prankster Tailwind in BW. Good, but they don't. I don't know why Monai decided to go to T-Tran here. I thought Scarf Latios with Togekiss support, Togekiss spamming FM was pretty reasonable enough. I'm not sure if Latios actually does get the kill on turn. Probably does, but yeah, it does. Good anyway, especially if it's best. Yeah, that Tornado super dies if it's not 0 HP. I don't know why Monai decided to spare that. I don't think it kills the Thunderous though. Yeah, no way. Not Spadef Thunderous, no way. So that Thunderous actually does need to take 2. I guess going Heatran here. But I don't know, but this means you just lose your support, right? Your FM support. You wanted to if you're Mona, you want to use Scarf Latios with your FM support Togekiss in order to prevent it from getting T-Waved. However, now on this board, Togekiss is in danger of just being immediately eliminated because it's already exhausted Protect, it has to take a T-Bolt, it has to take a Fly Gem Acrobatics, or rather a Flying Gem Acrobatics, has to take those 2 attacks, and the Heatran is not really a big threat. It chips the Thunderous, of course, but I don't think it necessarily matters if the Latios is also already getting T-Waved. The Latios is at 100% though, which is kind of useful, but I think switching Pandair was a choke. Maybe. I think you always FM Ice Beam onto something. Probably. I don't know, I'd always do it on Tornadus there. If Amaranth even decided to spare Monai by going for T-Wave, because Togekiss getting T-Waved is not necessarily a bad thing, because all it's going to do, like FM, right? FM is a priority move. It doesn't necessarily care about losing. Togekiss doesn't necessarily care about losing its speed. But of course, though, getting paralyzed does suck because you can lose your turn. But that's just something that you had to play. Yeah, that's just something you had to deal with as Monai in this position, right? I think. And spamming Ice Beam on the Tornado slot would have been good because it means you're killing the Tornadus or you're killing the Landorus T that's switching in for Tornadus, which is... It's basically a guaranteed kill, a guaranteed simplification, right? And if you kill Tornadus or if you kill Landorus, if you kill either one, that's also good for Heatran because Heatran's biggest ops in this existing matchup is Landorus T, of course because it's a ground type with EQ, or it's Tornadus because it can have superpower. It probably does have superpower, right? So I don't know about that switch to Heatran. Trying to get Chip onto Thunderous may be nice, but it might come at the cost of your win con, of the one scenario that you had in order to win this game. So, how much? I'm yapping so much, but we also still don't know what set this Heatran is. For all we know, oh, that died. It got crit, so that sucks. And now Monai is gonna get cooked. I don't know why. Does this not have FM? It should have FM. That's the only thing it's good at. I don't like. It's also Air Slash, by the way. I don't know why it's Air Slash. It should be Flamethrower, Protect, FM, and a random ass move. But it shouldn't be Air Slash because Air Slash doesn't hit anything except Among Us, but I digress. That's a digression for another time. I think Flamethrower is better because it hits Metagross. Nothing else follows. It hits Metagross. That's the only thing that matters, honestly. It hits Ferrothorn too, by the way, but yeah, it hits Metagross. It also has Serene Grace, right? Serene Grace Flamethrower, that's 40% chance to burn, which is honestly kind of funny. But if you're Amaranth here, you have to Ice Beam the Tornadus, right? Because Acrobatics, I don't know. Don't want to die to Acrobatics, right? You just Ice Beam the Tornadus and Heat Wave the Thunderous. And if you're Amaranth, you just T-Wave the Latios and Acrobatics Latios because it revealed Ice Beam. And Ice Beam is always on Scarf. Or it's all rather, Ice Beam rather essentially guarantees that it's Scarf. Yeah. This is chalked for Monai. I think that one... What? What the fuck did it just use? What the hell did they... Why did the Thunderous... Why did Monai spare the Thunderous, by the way? Why not click Heatwave, man? Come on. What the hell? What the hell am I watching? Like... I don't know, like, maybe if this Heatwaved and this was Scarf, there was a world where Amaranth could have won. Like... No way. It's GG. It's GG. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. Amaranth versus Monai for Black and White Doubles Overused. Triple GENIE, by the way. I didn't actually take note of that, by the way. But it is a pretty novel team. And interesting teams on both sides. Good plays all around. I think Monai could have added, but it is what it is. Thanks so much for watching. Deuces, bye.